Shawn Ashmore, we have you here. New movie, Darkness Falls. Tell us a little bit about it and who you play.
So Darkness Falls is a thriller. I play a character named Jeff Anderson who, the beginning of the film, we find out that his wife is murdered, and he sort of goes down the rabbit hole to avenge her death. And that's not really spoilers. That's in the trailer, and it's very clear that that's what kind of movie it is. So it's a dark thriller. What appealed to me about the movie was when I was talking to our director, Julian Seri, about the kind of movie he wanted to make. He said, I think a lot of people will see this as a vengeance movie or a revenge movie, but he saw it as a film about fathers and sons. And one of the big themes is our antagonists are father and son. And the son is influenced by the father. And in the same way, Jeff, my character, has a young son who he sort of has put on the back burner to avenge his wife's death, to the detriment of his son and to their relationship. So I thought that was very important and kind of timely then, and even more now is what we teach our kids. And that's a big moment and a big lesson in this film, is just about the influence we have on our kids. So I thought it was kind of powerful and an interesting way into what might normally just be like, oh, it's a revenge film. That was kind of what made it interesting for me.
Yeah.
Gave it a little more depth.
Yeah, because I saw the film. I loved it. I thought it was a great suspense thriller. It was one of those ones where you really didn't know where it was going to lead.
Oh, good.
And I love that part about it. And you have a great cast. You got Gary Cole. You got Richard Harmon from the 100. What was it about working with all of them and with such a strong cast?
I mean, we got, really lucky. What I thought was interesting is, so Gary Cole, I worked with years ago on a Hilary Duff Disney Channel movie. So we worked together like on the opposite film of Darkness Falls. So it was really interesting to get back on set with him, where we're sort of playing adversaries on such a darker film. And the other thing that I think is interesting is Gary's such an accomplished actor, but I think most people recognize him from some of his comedic work. So to see him play like a totally different character, I thought that was fantastic, and I think it will be really fun and interesting for an audience. But the whole cast was amazing. Lynn Shay, Danielle Alonso, Richard, Vahina, like everybody. It was, we just got really lucky. Just like a great group of actors that showed up for the characters and for the story. And our director, Julian, and our cast director, Jessica Sherman, had a big part to do with that. But yeah, I just felt very lucky. Every day I went into work, I was working with a great actor. And we had fun, Sometimes you watch a movie that's dark like this, and it's like, oh man, it must be so tense on set. But we were all there making a movie that we wanted to make, and we had a good time. I really enjoyed the process. I really liked the group of people.
Yeah, and then here is another time where you get to play a cop.
Yeah.
In LA.
Yeah.
And you use LA as a backdrop, as really a character within the story. I like that. I like the way that was used. How was that working?
It was cool. I rarely get to work in LA. I've lived here for like 18 years, but I'm always like in New York or Toronto or Vancouver or Australia. So to work at home, especially, it was actually one of the first movies that I did after my son was born. Okay. So it was so nice to be at home in LA and get to come home to him and to my wife when I was done. But yeah, LA plays a huge part. And I think visually, Shawn, the cinematographer, and Julian, the director, really captured LA in a really interesting, unique way. I love what the movie looks like. I think, especially for like a smaller film, they really captured, I don't know, it's like the cityscapes and the palm trees and the I don't know, it's a really interesting take visually on Los Angeles, I think. So it was great to shoot here. I love shooting in LA. And LA was definitely a character in the movie, especially like the oil fields and stuff. It's just very California, very Southern California. I think it really, I don't know, visually really feeds the story.
Yeah, it really does. And it really adds to the drama and to the suspense of where you're going with the story. It really draws it through. When you're looking at everything and you look at your body of work and now you're at this film, what do you think about this film that really has set it apart and what's different from anything you've worked on in the past?
Well, I think that what's interesting is that I'm now getting the opportunity to play fathers
Mhm.
on screen as I've now become a father. So that to me is what really stood out. It's one of the first times that I played a character who had a kid, you know? And for years I was always like, I mean, I'm 40, but I always tend to play younger. So for years I was like, you know, late 20s, early 30s, but still kind of pushing college age stuff.
Mhm.
So I feel like I'm getting to play my age now, and I'm getting to explore characters who are parents and fatherhood, and that's what I'm discovering in my real life. So I feel connected, and I feel like there's more discovery happening in those roles because I haven't played them before, and I'm experiencing in real life, and then trying to bring that to the screen. And it was really, really interesting. I think I also have more patience too in life with kids, you know. And Judah, who played my son in the film, is a great actor, really, really nice, a really nice kid. And so it was fun to be on set with him. And again, I just kept thinking about my son when he's that age, like just the interactions, and you know, so that was kind of fun and different for me as far as like what my real life was echoing in the character that I got to play.
Awesome, awesome. Because that's one thing I've seen, and I've seen your career for a long time, since the X-Men franchise up to
Yeah.
now, and you've seen that growth in your acting, which is just amazing.
No,
I
thanks.
love, especially when you get to see somebody who you've seen their whole career, and you
Yeah.
definitely in this film, in Darkness Falls, you really lifted up to another level. In my
No, thanks, man. It's interesting too. Like, you know, I think probably the majority of people that know my work probably know Bobby Drake, like Iceman, which is pretty PG. You know, like he's a hero, and the X-Men are the good guys. So to see an actor that you traditionally see in one way maybe do something different, like that's exciting for me as an actor to see, have an audience maybe see another side of you as an actor or get to play a totally different character. So yeah, I hope people dig it and enjoy the fact that The Darkness Falls is a very dark film. It's a dark character, but I think we earn that. Like his journey is interesting, and there's also a redemption story in there that I think is very powerful.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll close that up with that then. Thank you so much for stopping with us. We really appreciate it. June 12th, this Friday, it comes
Yeah,
out.
this Friday. Yeah,
Be on
very
demand. So
excited.
we got to get everybody else to watch it because this is a
All right,
really good film.
good. Thanks, man.
Before we get off, let me ask you one last question because I know some people will kill me for it.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the X-Men moving to Marvel? And do you wish you could come back because
Oh
you got
yeah.
a nice
Honestly,
sandbox now?
I get asked that all the time, and this is how I think about it. Like,
Mhm.
I got to play that character for like 20 years, roughly. You know, over 4 films.
Mhm.
If I never get to play the character again, I'll be okay with it because I feel like we got a really good run. I would go back in a second if they were like, "Hey, we want you to come back." Like, I love that character. I owe so much of my career and the relationships that I built over the years because I auditioned for that movie in Toronto as a kid and booked it, and I worked on the first movie for like a week. Like that was it, but it turned into this giant franchise, and making lifelong friends and being a part of an iconic superhero movie franchise. That being said, we had a great run, and the Fox franchise, I mean, I don't know, 9 movies, 10 movies, maybe more. I don't even know how many now. So I'm excited to see what Marvel does. They've proven that they are making fantastic stories and telling great stories with the Avengers and every other, you know, Guardians, like everything else they've been doing, Iron Man, all that stuff. So I'll be interested to see what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if they either reboot it and cast new actors, or potentially branch out within the X-Men universe and choose new characters to focus on. You know, like I don't know. This is me guessing, but either way, I have full confidence that they're going to tell great X-Men stories, and fans, new and old, will love what Marvel will do next. You know, I have no doubt about that.
Exactly. But for now, Darkness Falls this Friday. Got to get it. VOD. Thank you very much, Shawn. I
Thanks
really
for your time,
appreciate
man.
it coming to Muse.
Take care.
Thanks.